Hello everyone, welcome back. So after a gap of 3 to 4 days, I am back here. So I hope you had a good session with aptitude as well as technical. And I'm hopeful that all of you are preparing for Capgemini. So today is 24th if I'm right. Uh, and you have your Capgemini getting starting tomorrow. So today I'm going to speak specific to Infosys because that's the next company which is coming for the drive. I'm going to explain the entire pattern of Infosys. And when I speak about Infosys, please be very attentive because Infosys selection is not going to be easy. As a matter of fact, none of the companies selection is going to be easy. These are one of the best companies, not only in India, but also outside India. They're one of the most recognized companies in the world. That's why they also want the best people in the organization. So if you think that all these aptitude tests are very difficult, it has to be difficult because they want to hire the best resources. So you need to meet the expectation of the organization's selection process. All right. So please work hard. All of a sudden, if you want to practice certain areas in 3-4 days, obviously you cannot be perfect. Infosys point of view, it's going to be different from what Capgemini is. I'm going to explain the entire pattern here. So they also have written assessment and interview process. In written assessment, they have analytical and verbal ability. So in Capgemini, we did not have verbal ability, but in Infosys, we do have verbal ability. In analytical, they have 30 questions that needs to be answered in 40 minutes. Verbal question has 40 questions to be answered in 30 minutes. And then you have interview round, which will have technical as well as HR round. As far as interview is concerned for Infosys, their primary focus is on communication skills and behavioral skills and your personality. The second important aspect for Infosys interview is technical ability. So the first and foremost is your ability to communicate. I had been training the entire last week and the week before on interviews. I gave you a lot of tips and suggestions as to how to be successful in interviews. Some of you called and you did practice. So please remember, when it comes to Infosys, the focus is more on your ability to communicate very well. If you make a lot of grammar mistakes, if you're not able to speak at all, like some of you ask, can I speak in Telugu? How can you speak in Telugu in an interview? It's not possible, right? Infosys has clients based all over the world. So if you want to speak in Telugu in interview, that means once you get the job also you will speak in Telugu. A customer or a client who is calling you from United States should be speaking in Telugu with you because you don't want to speak in English. That's not possible. If you have decided to build your career in a company like Infosys, Capgemini, Wipro, you need to get proficient in terms of your communication skills. All right. So let's go back to the slide. So we have analytical skills, verbal ability. These are the two sections in terms of written test, and the second stage, those who qualify, it will go to the second stage, which is technical round and HR round. In terms of aptitude, you have quantitative aptitude and reasoning. So analytical skills will be divided into quantitative aptitude and reasoning. What are they going to ask in quantitative aptitude and reasoning? So I have a sample of these topics, 9 in total: data interpretation, syllogism, data sufficiency, problems on trains, time and work. So problems on trains is like time and distance, time and work, permutations and combinations, number series, coding and decoding, and puzzles. So these puzzles will have a little logical reasoning, some pictures and graphs. So I'm going to have this presentation frozen for 5 to 6 seconds, this particular slide. Please take down the information which you see on the screen. Data interpretation, syllogism, data sufficiency, problems on trains, time and work, permutation combination, number series, coding and decoding, and puzzles. Most of these topics are already covered for Capgemini as well. Some of them are not, so these will be covered. All right. So I hope you have taken it down. I'm going to read it again. Data interpretation, syllogisms, data sufficiency, problems on trains, that is time and distance, time and work, permutations and combinations, number series, coding and decoding, and puzzles. So that's in terms of aptitude, which will have question on quantitative aptitude and reasoning. Now as far as your verbal ability is concerned, these are the topics: critical reasoning, theme detection, fill in the blanks. Now when it comes to fill in the blanks, you may have to fill the blank with a synonym, you may have to fill the blank with antonym or opposite words. You probably need to find the right tense form or verb form or subject verb agreement or article, the correct word in terms of vocabulary, sentence correction, which is primarily on grammar, where you need to correct a sentence because one part of the sentence will be grammatically incorrect. Reasoning will be in terms of a particular line or particular text, 2-3 line, and you need to detect the theme as to what the author is trying to say. What are they trying to infer? What are they speaking in support? What are they speaking against? Which means your ability to understand the entire text is very, very important. All right. So critical reasoning, theme detection, fill in the blanks, sentence correction, and the fourth and the most important one, reading comprehension. You may get 2 paragraphs with 5 questions from each paragraph will be asked. So basically you will have 2 reading comprehension questions. Each paragraph will have 5 questions each. So that makes it 10 questions. Apart from these 10 questions, you will have sentence correction, fill up the blanks. Fill up the blanks could be in terms of grammar, finding the meaning of a word, finding a similar word or synonym, or finding the opposite word or antonym, or critical reasoning and theme detection. I'll try to get samples, but the point remains, instead of asking for model paper and limiting your entire practice and knowledge only on model paper, you need to practice more in terms of your writing ability and understanding. In Capgemini, we looked at how effective you need to be in terms of writing, articulating, when you have to write an essay. In Infosys, they are trying to see how well can you comprehend. That's what passage comprehension is all about. Now, there are a couple of apps which you can find on Google Play Store. So one is Pocket Verbal Ability, and the second one is Pocket Aptitude. These 2 apps, if you are using an Android phone, go to Google Play Store and look for Pocket Verbal Ability and Pocket Aptitude. You will find a lot of tips and tricks. You will find a little bit of help how to solve a question, and more than that, you will get a lot of sample questions there. So please look at these areas, look at the sample questions and try to understand what kind of questions Infosys asks. Again, I am emphasizing on this aspect. When it comes to organizations like Capgemini, Infosys, Wipro, please don't complain that the question was very tough. It's not an exam like your college or your school, where they want to ensure maximum number of students are getting 90%, 80%. No, that is not the intent. They want to pick the best resources. They want to have the best employee. If an organization wants to be the best, they need to have the best people. If they want the best people, they want to have the best selection criteria, which means you need to work hard. You have the skills with you, but you're not using it. Even after practicing and telling you so much on communication, I still see most of you do not practice when you're in your classroom or home. If you do not practice, you cannot be perfect in one day. So please do practice and please pay a lot of attention. All right? And one important thing, in case if anybody is missing a class, please don't ask me to repeat the entire session. I cannot repeat. That's why these programs are beamed on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for Mana TV AP unit, and you will find all the sessions, so you can watch it again instead of asking me to repeat. So if you have missed any session for some reason, some emergency, that's understandable. Please go back to YouTube and look for the relevant sessions. All right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to focus on number 4, which is reading comprehension. Okay? So when it comes to reading comprehension, what exactly is reading comprehension? Basically, you will get a paragraph. On that paragraph, you will have a story, or you will have certain details, you will have some incident which is mentioned. What you need to do is, you need to understand, read the paragraph, understand what exactly it is trying to say, and then answer the questions. It's as simple as that. The methodology, how to score very well. The tips, how to score very well. The approach which you should follow, because the battle is on 2 dimensions. One, it's against the time. You have a limited time within which you need to answer. And the second aspect is you need to answer accurately. It may have a negative point, it may not have a negative point. That doesn't really matter. The intent, the aim is to score and score high, as high as possible, and not to give as many, try to have as many correct answers as possible. Passage comprehension as a philosophy, it's not very difficult. You have a paragraph, you read a paragraph, based on the paragraph they ask you certain questions and you need to answer. What are the problems that people face in terms of paragraph? The problems that they face is in terms of vocabulary. The reason I am saying in terms of vocabulary, because if you do not understand simple words, you cannot be, you won't be in a position to understand what the context is, what the line is, what the author is trying to say. That's why focus on your vocabulary, work on your vocabulary, work on your language. If there is a word in a particular sentence you are not able to understand, you will understand when you read the entire sentence or entire part of the entire context or the paragraph. That way you can decode what the word means. But simple words like hostile, simple words like reconcile, simple words like excruciating, these words are very commonly used, like render. Please render this changes, please amend these changes. All these words are very, very common. If you are not able to understand very simple and common words, then it will be difficult for you. Okay? It's not meant to be easy. The selection criteria, if it's easy, everybody will get a job, right? Then what's the fun in having a name like Infosys? So let's look at the entire reading comprehension tips and tricks that I've put together for you. So reading comprehension tips, I am not going to change the slide. I will wait so that you can take this down. Please take down whatever you see on this particular slide. I'll read it once so that it's easier for you. Read the passage, underline key information. What are the key informations? Dates, years, any kind of numbers, any mention of a person, any incident or event. Okay? So first read the entire paragraph, entire passage, underline key information. Now, since this will be a computerized exam, obviously you cannot underline on the screen. That's why you should make notes. What notes you should make? You should make notes of any specific dates, years, numbers, persons, incidents or events. Say for example, it talks about 25th October. Write the date 25th October and also write what the date signifies. What is happening on that date? If it mention any year, please make a note of that as well. If it mention any numbers, for example, 67% of the student population, they fail to get a job in public sector companies. So, that 67% is a very key information. Any person, in case if it mentions a name of a person, in case if it mentions the position of a person, say 67% of the students fail to get a job in public sector organizations or government organizations. That's why the Vice Chancellor has decided to start a new training program. Now, Vice Chancellor is a key person here. In case if the name is mentioned, make a note of that as well. But any kind of numbers, events, any incident that has happened in the past or that going to happen, any particular day, any particular year, any numbers, please make a note of that because the questions may pertain to that as well. Alright, let's go back to the slide and make notes. How should you make notes? I am going to read this out and then I will keep the slide frozen for you so that you can take it down. Subject of the passage. What is the precise thing the author is talking about, or which area precisely the author is talking about. Basically, what the passage is all about, what is the central theme, what is the crux of the entire passage, main idea of the passage, what the author is saying about the subject. Number one is what is the subject, number two, what is he saying about the subject, number three, tone of the author of the passage, which is in which manner the author has adopted in the passage, which is the manner author has adopted, means is he going against the subject, is he going in support of the subject. There could be an incident that is mentioned, but what is the narration of the entire passage, entire paragraph? Is the author supporting it? Is he going against it? Is he questioning it? Is he doubting it? Is he denying it? What is he doing, or is he accepting it? Is he disagreeing? Is he agreeing? You need to get the entire tone, what the author is trying to convey through the entire narration of the passage. Alright. So, please remember, you will start with reading the entire passage. Let's have the slide please. Thank you. Reading the passage, underline the key information. You cannot underline, so please make a note of it. Make a note of dates, years, numbers, persons, incidents or events. When you make notes, also make note of the subject, the main idea of the passage. Subject is the topic. Second one is the main theme of the passage. And the last one is the tone of the author of the passage. What is the author trying to convey? Now, reading comprehension tips. Gist is the entire summary. Everything put together is gist. Now, what do we mean by gist? General idea plus structure plus tone. General idea means what people usually perceive out of the paragraph. Structure means the entire structure. What is he saying in the beginning? What is he saying in the end? Is he contradicting himself? Is he questioning the entire topic? Is he supporting it, agreeing it, disagreeing it? That is what the structure is, and the tone is obviously the author's point of view. Alright. This will also help to build a thematic composition. Thematic composition means It will help you compose the theme. What is the theme? What is the central idea of the entire passage? And number 2, logical sequence of the passage. The logical sequence is very, very important. What is happening first? What is happening second? What is happening in the end? The entire logical sequence. They cannot be back and forth where it will create a lot of confusion. It has to follow certain logical sequence. Now your paragraph may be in a different sequence. It's up to the reader, that is you, how you put the logic behind the entire passage. I'm going to pause here for a minute so that you can take this down. Before you take it down, I will read this out. Instead of reading the entire passage, read critically the first and the last paragraphs. So don't read the entire paragraph at the very first instance. Read the first and the last paragraphs. Generally, what the author is saying can be identified in the first few lines of the passage. For the rest, passage examine quickly what the author has said about the subject. For longer passages, try to put down in 10 to 15 words for each paragraph what you feel are the central points of the passage. So instead of reading the entire passage, read critically the first and last paragraphs. The author is saying can be generally identified in the first few lines. Remaining one, just examine quickly, just read through quickly to understand the author's point of view. For longer passages, in case if there are too many lines, try to put down 10 to 15 words for each paragraph. These are your keywords. What you feel are the central points of the passage. So I'll freeze this slide so that you can take down this information. I'll read this again. Instead of reading the entire passage, read critically the first and last paragraphs. Generally, what the author is saying can be identified in the first few lines of the passage. For the rest passage, examine quickly what the author has said about the subject. For longer passages, try to put down in 10 to 15 words for each paragraph what you feel are central points of the passage. All right? This is your approach number 1, the first step. Approach number 2, identify the structural words that tell you the important ideas or transitions in a passage. Structural words that tell you the important idea. Look for certain words which will help you get the idea, what the central theme of the paragraph is. The most common structural words are given below. These are some of the common words. Now it's categorized into continuity words, contrast words, conclusion words. Example of continuity words: similarly, moreover, additionally, in the same way, likewise. What do we mean by continuity words? Continuity word basically means the author would support his point of view further. That further is the important point here. The continuity word basically means the author would support his point of view further. Some of the examples like similarly, moreover, additionally, in the same way, likewise. So these are continuity words. Basically, when he uses this word, it basically means if the passage has these kind of words, it means that there is a further explanation of his point of view. All right? Contrast words. Contrast words, what do we mean by contrast words? The author would introduce a contrarian point of view. What do we mean by contrarian? All right, let's take an example. Imagine I have a glass of water here. Okay, now I just have a glass, but I don't have water, so I just have a glass. So in the first line, I'm basically talking about importance of drinking water or importance of clean drinking water for everybody in the country. Now, once I finish saying that, the next paragraph or the next segment of the paragraph, I say that there is a scarcity of water. Even though there is a need, there is an absolute criticality about drinking water availability, but we don't get it. Now it's a contrary situation. Contrary means against, opposite side. Let's look at some examples of contrast words. All right, here are the examples of contrast words. Can we have the slide, please? I'm trying to show the slide. Thank you. Contrast words: nonetheless, however, but, although, despite. I'm going to wait here so that you can take this down. Nonetheless, however, but, although, despite. Despite the fact that we need clean drinking water, there is a scarcity of it. Okay? So these kind of words are contrast words, which is giving an opposite scenario. And the last one is conclusion words. What do we mean by conclusion words? The author would sum up his argument so far, which means now he is reaching the end of his entire argument or his statement. Okay? Conclusion words: example, thus, therefore, hence, in summary, in conclusion. I am going to freeze this slide so that you can take down this particular information. Before that, I want to go here. This is approach number 1. Please don't change the slide. I want the students to take this down. Please take down whatever you see on the screen right now. All right, this is approach number 1. Approach number 2. Identify structural words that tell you the important ideas or transitions in a passage. What are these structural words? These structural words are these 3: continuity words, contrast words, conclusion words. Please take this down, then I will show you the examples. Continuity words are the word that would support his point of view, that is author's point of view. Contrast are contrarian or opposite view. Conclusion are the closing views. Now here are the examples. Continuity words: similarly, moreover, additionally, in the same way, likewise. Contrast words: nonetheless, however, but, although, despite. Conclusion: thus, therefore, hence, in summary, in conclusion. All right? So that's approach number 2. Approach number 3. Try to recognize the words that represent positive and negative role in the passage. These words will let you decide whether the author is for or against the subject. A few examples of such words are given below. So number 3, try to recognize the words that represent positive or negative role. These words will let you know whether the author is for or against the subject. Is he supporting it or is he disagreeing with it? How do you figure it out? You need to search for some positive and negative words. If you see them, you can figure out what it means. Positive, efficient, enthusiastic, bright, fortunate, passionate. Negative words, foul, alarming, detrimental. What do we mean by detrimental? I wish somebody could answer this question. Detrimental means hurdle. Lack of skill is detrimental to job creation, which means because of lack of skills, we are not getting or we are not able to create too many jobs. Detrimental is hurdle or an obstacle, obstruction. Alright. So negative words, foul, alarming, detrimental, pessimistic. What do we mean by pessimistic? Pessimistic is the opposite word of optimistic. Pessimistic means a person who thinks negatively or a person who thinks about negative outcome. Stressful. Alright, so that's another negative word. So when you find any positive or negative word, you need to see which is creating a dominant force on the passage, and then you can understand or analyze if the author is for or against. Alright. Number 4, very, very important. I will go slow so that you can take this down. PQ approach. What do we mean by PQ approach? PQ approach means passage first, questions next. What it means is, first you will read the entire passage, then you will answer the questions. Read the entire passage through thoroughly first and then read the questions. Scan through the passage and keep going back and forth with questions and passage. Basically what it means is, you will read, you will skim through the entire passage, then immediately take a glimpse at the question. When you look at the question, you will be able to understand, are you going in the right direction or not? Read the first 2 paragraphs, scan all the questions and see what you can answer. Then read para 3 and 4. Scan the questions and see what you can answer. Then read para 5 and 6. Now this is applicable in case if you have multiple paragraphs. In Infosys, you will have only 1 paragraph or 1 passage, max to max 2 paragraphs. But there will be 2 questions, right? So I am talking one at a time. So the approach is, first you read 4-5 lines of the passage, understand what it's saying, and then immediately go to the question. Okay? So that you can figure out that you are going in a balanced way. Another approach is QP approach. QP means questions first, then the passage. It says read all the questions with their answers, options first, and then the passage. This is a very smart way. First you reading the question, then you reading the options, and then you see if the option is there on that passage or not. This is a very smart way of answering if you have less amount of time left. But sometimes you will go wrong. But nonetheless, it helps. Read all the questions with their answers, options first and then passage. Read question 1 with all the options, then go through the entire passage to answer it. Then read question 2, go through the entire passage, then question 3. That means, instead of reading the passage first, you read question number 1, then read the answer, options, then read the passage to see which answer is fitting. Alright? You do the same for the remaining 4 questions. Just read all the questions stems, without reading the answer options. Then read the passage and try answering the question by reading them with no options. Basically, you can either read the question with options and see which option is fitting by reading the paragraph, or just read the question, don't see the options. After reading the question, go to the passage, understand, and then see which option is fitting. So, the approach depends on what you are comfortable with and what you think will save time, because you have only 30 minutes and you have to answer 40 questions. So, you need to go in a very structured way so that you are not losing out on time as well, where you spend too much time on reading the passage and you do not have any time to answer the questions. Alright. So, PQ approach, I will show this again. Please take this down. PQ approach means passage first, then the questions. Read the entire passage thoroughly first and then read the questions. Scan through the passage and keep going back and forth with questions and passage. Read the first 2 paragraphs, scan all the questions and see what you can answer, then read para 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. Which means you read the entire passage first and then you head out to the questions. Second one, you read the question and then you read the passage. Either you can read the question with the options, then you read the passage, or you read the question, read the passage and then see which option is fitting. Alright. It's completely your choice what you are comfortable with. And for verbal ability, these kind of questions, please do check those 2 apps which I spoke about, Pocket Verbal Ability and Verbal Ability. You will have a lot of questions there. You will also have practice on Infosys papers, some of them, some sample papers, plus the tool on which you are practicing already. I hope you started practicing since yesterday on Capgemini. There is essay writing and there is aptitude. There are 7 papers. I hope you are already practicing. Very soon, in next 2-3 days, you will also see the Infosys sample papers there so that you can practice. Alright, it will be the same link, Aadhaar number to login, that will be your ID and the same will be your password. Okay. So, I am going to switch over to a sample comprehension. Okay. I hope this Word document is visible, I will try to expand it a bit. Okay. Can we have this on the screen, please? See, in order to make it look absolutely clear, I need to adjust it so that you don't face difficulty. Okay. So, I am going to quickly read the entire passage. Now, these passages will not have a topic, they will not be a heading. Okay. So, please remember that. So, let me start reading and I also want you guys to read together. One likes to think that one's attitude, beliefs and related behavior form a consistent pattern. Incongruity that is detected results in a sense of imbalance or dissonance, which the person then seeks to correct. Now, what did we understand by the first sentence? The first sentence says, one likes to think that one's attitudes, beliefs and related behavior form a pattern, which means a person's attitude, his belief, whatever he believes in, and the action, that is behavior, form a consistent pattern. When I say consistent pattern, it means the behavior, the belief and the attitude all has to be same. It cannot be different. Say for example, my attitude is positive, I believe in positivity, but my behavior is negative behavior. That means it's not a consistent platform or a pattern, which means All the three aspects has to be consistent. Incongruity, that is detected, results in a sense of imbalance or dissonance which the person then seeks to correct. Basically, it means if something is not falling right, then he has to correct it. The motivating effect of the need, the motivating effect of this need to correct incongruity, imbalance or dissonance has been the occasion for several theories. We may select for consideration the theory proposed by Festinger, which treats cognitive dissonance and its reduction. We may select, again I read it, we may select for consideration the theory proposed by Festinger. Basically, it's talking about a theory which was suggested by or proposed by a person by name Festinger, which says, which treats cognitive dissonance. Cognitive skills means what? When you respond to a situation. So basically it says if there is any imbalance, it can be treated. And its reduction. The kind of disagreement or disharmony with which Festinger, okay, just a moment, let me get this straight, okay. The kind of disagreement or disharmony with which Festinger has been chiefly concerned is that which occurs after a decision has been made, after one is committed to a course of action. Under such circumstances, there is often some lack of harmony between what one does and what one believes, and there is a pressure to change either one's behavior or one's belief. For example, if a regular smoker reads about the relationship between smoking and lung cancer, the habitual action and the new information are dissonant. Means he knows about it that smoking causes lung cancer, but still he is doing it. Dissonance means what? Dissidence. That means you are going against it. If the decision is made to continue smoking, the dissonance will be reduced by disbelieving the information about the relationship between the smoking and lung cancer. If the decision is made to give up smoking, the information on the linkage between smoking and lung cancer can be accepted. The fact that this information also affected the decision is not important here. As Festinger and others have shown, the weighing of alternatives is more realistic prior to the decisions. After the decision, the pressure is great to bring belief and action into balance. The theory goes on to make some non-obvious predictions. For example, in some cases, failure of expectation instead of destroying the belief may strengthen it. This was illustrated by a study of group of people who expected to be saved from prophesied disastrous flood by the intervention of a heavenly being. The theory predicted that when the long-awaited day arrived and prophecy failed, what do we mean by prophecy? Means prediction. Prophecy failed, no flood. Those who had the social support of the other believers would indeed proselyte for the other beliefs with new enthusiasm, while those who had to face the crisis alone would have the faith weakened. These predicted results did indeed occur. The rationalization for the group of disappointed believers who faced failure together being that God has postponed His vengeance because of their faith. The tendency to be consistent is but one aspect, is how self-perception influences motivation. Earlier illustrations of human motivation might also be reinterpreted in these terms. For example, the success motivation and avoidance of failure are also concerned with how a person sees himself. R.W. White, that's a person's name, R.W. White, for example, reinterprets many motives concerned with curiosity and desire for knowledge and for achievement as though they all are concerned with one's sense of competence as a person who is effective in relation to the environment. In other sense, the person likes to develop his potential to the full, to be as complete a person as he can. For such pervasive type of motive, the expression self-actualization was coined originally by Carl Jung, one of Freud's followers who later developed a system of his own. By self-actualization, he meant the development of full individuality with all parts somehow in harmony. The term and closely related ones, productive orientation, creative becoming, etc., have been used by Mann, psychologist who criticized contemporary motivational theory as being too narrow concerned with short episode of choice and behavior rather than with the more powerful, profound, pervasive aspects of individual hopes and aspirations. What does the entire passage talk about? It talks about human behavior. Okay, even I am reading it for the first time. It talks about certain studies done by certain psychologists, like R.W. White was one name was Festinger. It talks about your attitude, it talks about your belief and your behavior, that it should be consistent. If it's not consistent, why is it not consistent? When you follow something, if it's not, and if something does not happen as expected, how do you react to the situation? That is what the passage is about. Now the questions will be something like this. Let me move this a bit so that it's clearly visible. Okay. Which of the following situation is most likely to give rise to cognitive dissonance? Number 1, cricket fans watching their team lose, an antique collector being told by an expert that the vase or the vase he has paid rupees 3,000 for is worth only 100, which means a guy bought something, an antique collector, he paid 3,000 but actually it's only 100 rupees. Number C, students failing in an exam. Number 4, man cutting himself shaving. While a person is shaving, there are some cuts and bruises. In order to answer this particular question, you need to understand the central theme of the paragraph. The central theme of the paragraph, how do we figure? We need to find that out. If you see the question, one word which is standing out in this question is the last word. Which of the following situation most likely to give rise to cognitive dissonance? If you follow the QP approach, question first, passage next. You read this question, don't read the options, read the question. The question is, which of the following situation is most likely to give rise to cognitive dissonance? You go up and look for cognitive dissonance and try to understand the meaning of it. So when you do a QP approach, question first, passage next, you read the question and you go directly where the answer lies. Now the options, the answers will not be exactly there on the passage. The options are completely different. Reading comprehension means they are trying to see, are you able to understand and respond. Let's look at another question. In the case that one's expectation fail, belief will be destroyed, belief will be shaken but not destroyed, belief will be strengthened. What is the correct option? In this case, you will go straight into the passage where it talks about the prophecy that something is going to go wrong. So you read the question, you read the paragraph, and then look at options, and then you'll be able to figure how to find the answer. Okay, I know this is slightly difficult, it's very challenging. The passage has a lot of words which you don't understand, but I'm sorry, I cannot explain each and every word. What passage will you get in main exam? I don't know. These words may not even come, which means even if you don't understand a word, at least try to understand the sentence. That's why I say follow QP approach, read the question, look for the answer in the passage, and pick the correct answer from the options. All right. We'll take a quick break now. We come back and we open up the lines so that you can call and ask your questions pertaining to Capgemini as well as Infosys, whatever questions you have. Please do pick up the phone, call and ask your questions. We'll take a quick break and we come back soon. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So, I'm little sure some of you are little worried about passage comprehension for Infosys. Believe me, it's not difficult. It's challenging, but it's not difficult. But you need to practice a lot. So, I'm opening up the lines now. We have the numbers flashing on your screen. The numbers, let me read that out: 23540726, 23540326, and we also have the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-425-403. So whatever questions you have, please call and ask. I'm here to answer. Again, the numbers: 040, that's a code for Hyderabad; 23540726, 23540326, and we also have a toll-free number where you don't have to spend for the call. It's 1-800-425-423. So please call, and whatever questions you have pertaining to Capgemini, if you have questions pertaining to Infosys, the selection process, please do ask. And those who are practicing already on the mock assessment tool, if you have questions there as well, you can call and ask your questions. So don't hesitate. If you want to interact with me, if you want to practice an interview, you can do that as well, no problem at all. So please do pick up your phone and please do ask questions. Like I always answer your questions, I'll do that. Okay? So while we wait for the questions to come from the students, one important part in terms of your Infosys assessment is, like I said, there are two sections. One is your aptitude and the second one is verbal ability. Okay, we have a caller.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Sir, good, sir. What about you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good, sir. Please ask your question.
Sir, when we are writing essay writing, can we give heading, sir?
The heading is not required. See, the heading is already known, right? The question will have the heading.
Yes, sir.
If you want to mention the heading, you can write. If you don't write, it's fine. If you write, it's good. If you don't write, it's not bad. Okay? So it's not mandatory that you need to write the heading. If you write it, it's good. And where are you calling from?
Nandyal, sir.
Nandyal. Which college?
National Degree College, sir.
National Degree College. Okay, Mr. Sai's college, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you take the mock assessment practice test?
Yes, sir.
Is it helping you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well.
Okay.
Sir, we also write introduction and conclusion heading also, sir.
Yeah, there should be the first paragraph, which will be the introductory paragraph. The second paragraph write as the main theme, and the last paragraph as conclusion.
Okay.
So you will see 7 paragraphs there, and 10 different samples. I have also written the paragraphs, the essay, what you see on the tool, on the practice assessment. The essay is already written so that you can get a fair idea how to write, but you can also write yourself. In the learning module, on the left pane, you will have a learning module. If you click there, all the paragraphs are there already. Okay, are you still there? All right, we have another caller. Good evening, we have another caller.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is Mubin from Sri Vedavyasa Degree College.
And which location, ma'am?
Prodigy.
All right. And your question is?
Sir, while we are writing the essay, is it necessary to write the heading?
Okay, just now another student also asked the same question. I can't say it's necessary, but if you write the heading, it's good. It's a good practice to write the heading, but if you don't write it, you will not face a problem. But it's good to follow a good practice. So, did you practice any essay already?
What, sir?
Have you already practiced any essays?
Yes, sir. I have practiced, sir.
Okay.
You have given 10 topics, sir.
Correct.
Is vegetarianism a good for health or not?
Correct.
That I have practiced, sir.
Oh, very good. That's very nice. So if you want, you can
sir.
email me the essay as well so that I can check personally.
I don't know how to email you, sir.
I had given my email ID to everyone.
I have taken it, sir. Just I have to send it, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I will send it.
All right. Any other questions you have?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else from your class who has any questions?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If we have more caller, please patch them in. Okay. All right. So as far as essay is concerned for Capgemini, in case if you want to write the header, please do, no problem if you write the header. If you don't write the header also, no problem, because Capgemini will ask only one essay in the entire questions. So that means the answer, they will know that the essay has been written on which topic, because that's the question itself. So don't worry about it. But if you have the habit of writing the topic, the header of the essay, you can do that. No problem at all. That's a good practice. An essay, it will be checked by the system. The system will check if your punctuation is right, if your grammar is right, accurate, if your capitalization is perfect. For example, after comma there should be a space, after full stop there should be a space, and after full stop any sentence, the first letter has to be a capital letter. So these are some of the aspects which the system will check. And if you make mistakes in terms of punctuation, grammatical and structural stability of the entire essay, then you will lose out on points. All right. So the lines are still open. You can call and ask your questions. Whatever questions you have pertaining to Capgemini, if it's about written assessment, if it's also about interviews, you can still ask these questions, no problem at all. But today onwards, primarily I'm focusing on Infosys. Like I said, Infosys will have written assessment first, then it will shift over to interview. Those who clear written assessment will qualify for the interview stage. In interview, especially for Infosys, the emphasis on technical ability is a little lower compared to your personality, your communication skills, and your behavioral aspect. So whatever I have trained you and groomed you on interview essentials, your body language, your communication skills, that's very, very important, because they pay a lot of attention to it. Infosys is, Infosys is a very, very large organization. They have a huge office in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, in Mysore they have the training center. So very, very big company. So obviously they want to hire students with a very good personality and very decent communicative skills. All right. So focus on these areas. In terms of your written assessment, passage comprehension, plus other aspect of verbal ability, we have done a lot of practice in terms of verbal ability. If you remember, we did a lot of practice in terms of grammar, in terms of vocabulary, like finding the synonym, finding antonym. Synonym is similar word, antonym is opposite word. You will have a particular statement, and they will ask you to find out if it's grammatically accurate or not. Or they will write 2-3 lines, and then they will ask which one is an odd statement. they will write a particular line or 2 lines. They will ask, is it a cause or effect? Is it positive or is it negative? Is the writer or the author agreeing with the point or is he disagreeing with the point? These are the kind of questions you will get on verbal ability. They may give you a particular line where there will be 2 words. You need to pick the appropriate word. For example, the police confiscated / seized fake currency, counterfeit currency. Now, confiscated is different, seized is different. Confiscated means after they check, they return it to the owner. Seized means you will never get it back. SEIZED. I'm going to quickly write this so that it's easier for you. Confiscated, seized. Okay. So there are 2 words, confiscated and seized. Confiscated means they take it, they examine it, and they will return it to you if it's legal. If it's illegal, they will not return it. Seized means you will not get it. Obviously, what you have is illegal. You need to be careful about confusing words. For example, advice, advise. I'll just write it here. When to use advice, when to use advise. Advice, CE, is a noun. Advise, SE, is a verb. For example, please give me an advice or please advise me. Alright. So these are some examples. You got to be careful about words and not get confused. THERE versus THEIR. THERE means preposition. There, please keep the pen there. Where? There, on the table. THEIR, it's their car. It belongs to them. That means it's a possession. Another common mistake that people do is in terms of lose, LOOSE, versus LOSE. We have a caller. Good evening.
Sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, can I interact with you, sir?
I'm sorry.
Can I interact with you, sir?
Yes, you can interact. What is your name, sir?
Rafi, sir.
Rafi, where are you calling from?
Nandyal, sir.
Nandyal. All right. Which college you're calling from?
National Degree College, sir.
All right. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure, sir.
It's not sure. SURE. It's not sure. It's sure.
Sure.
All right. Please go ahead.
Sir, I am Muhammad Rafiq Sheikh. I am doing my graduate final year in computer application from Rayalaseema University.
You are doing what?
Graduate final year.
Graduation. Graduate means once you finish it, then you will be called a graduate.
Okay, sir. I am doing my graduation final year in computer application from Rayalaseema University. I secured score 74%. Sir, my hobbies are other than browsing, magazines, and watching movies, sir. That's all about me, sir.
Okay. Rafi, have you been attending all my trainings?
Yes, sir.
Then why didn't you speak about your strength, your weakness, your family background? Why didn't you speak about your second year score, first year score, about your intermediate and matriculation? Why didn't you tell me about it?
Yes, sir. I don't know, sir, but some magazines I read, sir, they only see our some little bit introduction. They want only little bit introduction. That's
So
why
you want to follow the magazine or you want to follow my training?
No, sir. Your training, sir. Sorry, sir.
But you are following the magazine, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
So can you do it again, please?
Okay, sir. Sir, I am Muhammad Rafiq Sheikh. I am doing my graduation final year in computer application from Rayalaseema University. In first year, I scored 68%, and second year I scored 79%.
First, you need to speak about second year, then first year.
Okay, okay, sir.
You don't remember what I taught?
Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir.
All right, do it again from the beginning.
Okay, sir. Sir, I am Mohammed Rafi Sheikh. I am doing my graduation final year in computer application from Rayalaseema University. I secured marks in second year 79%.
It's not percentage, it's
Yes, sir,
percent.
percent. And first year I secured 68%. I have done my inter in Rao Junior College with 68%, and I have completed my 10th in Bal Academy with 80%. Sir, my hobbies are other than browsing magazines and watching movies.
Sorry, your hobbies are other than.
Other than browsing,
So then what are your hobbies?
sir, my hobbies are browsing.
But you said other than browsing, right? Then what is the actual hobby?
Sorry, sir.
When you say other than, that means there is something else. Like I say, other than the students, I train corporates. But if I say other than I train students, then the sentence does not make any sense.
Okay, sir.
And A and D is not undo, it's and.
Okay.
Don't say undo, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, so what are your strength and weakness?
Sir, my strength is good team worker and good
Andu,
time
it's not
management.
andu, it's and.
Sir, my strength is good team worker and
It's not worker,
management.
teamwork. Worker is a person.
yes, sir.
Repeat, what are your strength and weakness?
Sir, my strength is good teamwork and time management.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, my weakness is while I am in degree first year, the cricket and movies are too disturb me, sir. I think they are my weaknesses, sir.
Sorry, what is your weakness again?
Sir, my weaknesses are watching movies and cricket is my weakness, sir. They are disturb me a lot.
Cricket is your weakness.
Yes, sir.
Why
Sir,
is it
can
your
I-
weakness?
Sir, can I tell that can I modify it, sir?
Did you attend my training or you're following some magazine that somebody gave you?
Sir, I'm following some YouTube videos and you are training also, sir, but some
Basically,
modifications
you're
are-
following 10 people and you don't know who's speaking the correct thing, right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Very good. God bless you. I have nothing to say then.
Sir, sorry, sir.
It's not about sorry. You don't know what is right.
Can I modify it, sir?
I explained what should be your strength and weakness. You followed some magazines, some other videos, and then you are asking that why it's not the correct one. There is either a correct way of doing or not correct way of doing.
Sir, I
If
don't-
you are taking input from 10 sources, you will not be good in any of the ways.
Yes, sir.
So why is cricket your weakness?
Sir, well, I'm studying the cricket is too disturb. That's why my weakness is cricket.
So why don't you focus on cricket and become a cricketer? You can play for the national team.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
What is okay? I'm just asking you a question.
Sir, my weakness is I'm a good. Sir, my weakness is I can trust anyone easily, sir. That's my weakness.
Your weakness is what?
I trust anyone easily.
Okay, all right. And you said your strength is teamwork, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me an example?
Sir, while I'm a good team worker, I can always welcome to my changes, sir.
Okay. So why do you want to work in Capgemini?
Sir, I think I spoke to some of people of your company. They told me the Capgemini has a good culture and it seems like
Andu.
and it seems like I can share my views and expressions only in your company, sir.
Okay. Only in my company, no other company allows you to express your views.
No, sir.
Are you sure about that?
No, sir. No, sir. And my views and expressions can give to your company, sir.
It's not expressions, point of view.
Okay, sir. Views and point of view, I can
Okay.
give in your.
So what salary are you expecting?
Sir, according to posts, I expecting 2 to 3 lakhs per annum, sir.
Okay, and who told you that you should be quoting an amount? Which
Sir,
magazine
sir.
told you that as a fresher, you should be quoting 2 to 3 lakhs?
Sir, I don't
This is,
understand, sir.
this is, no, you said you will quote 2 to 3 lakhs, right?
Yes, sir.
Who told you that it's okay to quote 2 to 3 lakhs?
Sir, just imagine, sir.
Sorry?
I'm just imagine, sir. Imagine.
Imagine.
Yes, sir.
Did you attend my training last week?
Yes, sir.
No, you haven't.
Sir, your class is not coming in last 3 days, no, sir.
So last week had 6 days, right?
Yes, sir.
3 days only my class didn't come. Prior to that it came?
Sir, the 3 days C language is came, sir. C language, sir, is came.
Okay. How many days do we have in a week? 7 days, right?
Yes, sir.
Out of 7 days, 1 day was Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Out of then remaining 6 days, 3 days C language was taught. The remaining 3 days I did, right?
Yes, sir.
Then why you saying that I did not train last week?
I trained last week, sir, but I cannot remember your classes, sir.
That means you're not making notes. If you cannot remember what I spoke last week and you're making one mistake after another in an interview, how do I get the confidence that you will give a very good interview in the main exam or the main interview?
Sorry, sir.
On what basis are you quoting 2 to 3 lakhs? What skills do you have, Rafi?
Sir, nothing. I don't know, sir.
So without any skill, I should pay you 3 lakhs salary per year?
No, sir.
Then on what basis are you saying 3 lakhs? You can say 10 lakhs, right? Please tell me on what basis you expect a salary of 3 lakhs?
Sir, I am a good teamwork and I work
And do.
hard, sir.
Again and
very
do.
hard. Sir, I am good teamwork and I am a good hard worker, sir. I can change this.
Have you worked in any organization before?
No, sir.
Then how can you prove to me that you are a hard worker and a team worker?
Sir, what can I tell, sir, in that moment?
First of all, you're not supposed to quote any amount. I told this some 15 times, but still you are going and saying, give me 3 lakh salary. On what basis? Today, if I take you in Capgemini, can you write a program for me?
No, sir.
Then why should I pay you 3 lakhs? Can you go to a shop and say, give me a TV, but I will not give you money? Will he sell you a TV without money?
No, sir.
Then why should Capgemini pay you without getting anything from you?
Sir, what can I tell, sir, in that moment?
Sorry?
I'm reading your class I miss in class, sir, in Monday or today. What can I tell, sir, in that moment?
I will not tell you what should you say, Rafi. If you are not responsible attending all the classes, like I said, you can go back to YouTube. If you missed any class, you can go and check it again. But right from the very first question, you've been giving wrong answers or incorrect answers. I don't know how serious you are about the whole training, sir. In an interview, you are not supposed to tell any amount. You don't have any skills. How can you demand 3 lakhs? So you should say, being a fresher, I do not have any practical knowledge, but I want to build my career in a big organization like Capgemini. And as an organization, I am very sure you have certain policies about the salary structure for freshers. So I would accept that. But obviously, you cannot quote an amount. Are you still there? Hung up. So this is a little annoying. All right, we have another caller. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, sir. This is again Mubin, sir.
Again Mubin. Who is
Yes.
again Mubin?
Sir, please, can you please interview me, sir?
You should say, hi, this is Mubin again. It's not again Mubin. When you say again Mubin means again is a part of your name.
Sorry, this is Mubin, sir.
All right. Please tell me more about yourself, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Mubin. I am pursuing my final year B.S.C. Computer Science in Sri Vedavyasa Degree College. And coming to my family, there are 7 members in my family. My strength is my self-confidence and my positive attitude. And And my weakness is I feel somewhat fear when I talk to you.
Why?
I don't know, sir. When there is someone behind, there is someone in front of me. I feel somewhat fear, sir, to talk.
Okay. Is that all about introduction?
Oh, yes, sir.
Have you been attending my sessions?
Yes, sir.
What did I say? What should you speak in terms of introduction?
Sir, please can you repeat the question, sir?
What should you speak in terms of introduction?
My family background, my weakness, my strength, hobbies, sir.
Okay.
And my hobby is collecting good quotations.
Okay, can you give me a quotation, please?
Yes, sir. The quotation which I like the most is winners never quit and quitters never win.
Okay. All right. And how will I know what is your education background? Don't you think you missed that?
Yes, sir. I have got 95% in my 10th class and 96% in my intermediate, and now in degree I have got 95%, sir.
Okay. What does high score signify?
Sir, 96.6.
Yeah, so what does high score signify for you?
Sir, I don't understand, sir.
Do you think scoring high in academic curriculum or academic career, does that make a person intelligent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you score above 90%, you are a very intelligent person.
No, sir, I don't think like this, sir.
Just now you said yes, sir.
Sorry, sir, I don't think like this, sir.
You cannot contradict yourself in an interview. All right. Okay. Is it necessary for a person to score high in academic career in order to be a successful employee?
Sir, I think
Is it a yes or a no?
to somewhat it is yes, sir.
To somewhat it is yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So why do you want to work for Capgemini?
Sir, because I want to enhance my knowledge and to get a good position in Capgemini,
Okay.
which is one of the foremost company in the world.
All right. And what is the salary expectation you have?
I don't know, sir. Being a fresher, I don't know what is my salary.
No, what is your expectation, I'm asking?
20,000 maybe.
Okay, again you gave a wrong answer. On what basis are you asking for 20,000, ma'am? What skills do you have?
I think I'm good at communication skills, sir.
But Capgemini is not into communication business, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you just speak well, but if you do not have any coding skills, how will it help me?
Yes, sir. Can you please give me some tips, sir?
Last week and the week before, I extensively covered interviews as to what is an appropriate answer for salary. Were you there?
No, sir.
Did you go back to YouTube and check?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you will definitely find. I just gave that answer 2 minutes ago. You should not be quoting an amount. You should rather say that being a fresher, my intention and my focus is to build my career, learn and build on my competency with an organization where I can explore my skills and also add on to my skills.
Yes.
So as a fresher, I would accept whatever the company offers for a fresher.
Okay, sir.
All right, any more questions? Okay, we have another caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes, sir.
So my name is Rakesh, and I am calling from PSR and TBK Vizag.
All right.
Actually, I would like to ask an interview question which is posed by my teacher.
Okay.
They are asking that is honesty a best policy always?
So what did you say?
That's what, sir. I mean, I didn't understand the way the perspective they have asked it.
There is a saying that honesty is a best policy. So first you need to first you need to decode what do you mean by honesty. Honesty is something that's your self-belief. Honesty is something supporting what is right. Honesty is something where you accept your mistakes, where you accept your own shortfalls, and you work on it. And it's definitely the best policy ahead, because when you take an honest approach, there could be a situation where you will lose out, but you will never fail. In today's world, people say that instead of being honest, you have to be diplomatic. But I think when you are diplomatic, you end up hiding certain vital information, and it takes away the honesty. I have the belief of doing the right thing at the right time for the right people. Because end of the day, I cannot lie to myself. So I don't want to achieve something through means which is not completely honest and true. And considering that, I believe honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, and the way I thought, the view that I have is that something like the other person might ask regarding my company, no, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't understand. The other person, what?
Sir, just a minute. Sir, the only way means, I mean, if the company, if some other person asks about the secret of my company, will that account for the honesty?
Obviously, there are certain information which you're not supposed to uh, divulge to anyone. These are trusted information, and any kind of trusted information is between you and the person who gave you that information. Anything that you do which is not ethical is going against honesty. Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any more questions you have, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So that's about it. Some 5 to 6 callers we got. I don't know why you guys are still making the same mistakes for interview. I categorically said what to speak in an interview. Please don't do these kind of mistakes. If you missed any session, go back to YouTube and you will find those sessions again. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and focus only on passage comprehension tomorrow. Morning you will have your aptitude training. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.